everyone, and welcome back to another PPTV episode. It's me, Beth, your host, and today joining me, I have the lovely Claire Farrington.
Hello.
Who I'm sure you've all seen in the progressive community. She's doing a lot of exciting stuff, but for some of you who might not know who she is, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and what you do?
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody. I'm Claire Farrington, and we have a family business. We're based in Burton-on-Trent. Mm-hmm. My parents before me have been property investors for over 20 years now.
Wow.
And myself, working for the family business and being a property investor myself, about 11 years. And my sister Amy Farrington, she's on the progressive community.
Yes, she is.
She works with the family business as well. And we have our own management company that look after the properties for us. So for around 11 years now, we have a portfolio of buy-to-lets, HMOs, serviced accommodation. We've got a couple of very large HMOs as well now. Yeah.
Fantastic. We're going to talk about some of those big HMO projects a little bit later on because they're very exciting, and I'm sure a lot of people watching are going to be really interested in that. So take us back to the start then. So you said that your family's all pretty much involved in property. Was it your parents that inspired you to get involved in property investing?
Yes, it was. Yeah, definitely. So I went to university first to do IT. I have a degree in IT.
Oh,
information systems. Although I didn't quite like it. Sitting in the library, there's like a 24-hour library at uni. You sit there till 3 a.m. looking through code. I'm not sure where I put a full stop in the wrong place. And I just thought I just didn't want to do this for the rest of my life, really. So, but I stuck it out, finished university, went back home and did some agency work while I decided what I wanted to really do in life. Yeah. And that's my father had got into buy-to-lets at that time. He'd got a small portfolio while he had his other business running. Okay. And he was the one that suggested, why don't you try an estate agency and get to know property? So I got a job in a local estate agency for a couple of years. I really enjoyed that. That helped me purchase my first house myself.
Really?
And that was done with a creative way as well. Yeah. So I was able to borrow money from parents. Yeah. So I had cash to buy that, and I bought it for below market value.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So you were doing everything that we teach before
back when I was like 23, 24.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Did you know that you were doing kind of a joint venture almost at that point, or was it just, I can borrow the money from here? They were still doing some courses like this back then. So my dad had already gone on quite a few money down type courses then. Yeah, so he was the one that inspired me to do that. That's fantastic that you kind of had that knowledge right from the start then.
Yeah.
So it's because a lot of people, that is one of the biggest things for them, was when they realised that property isn't how they thought it was. But that was different for you guys because you were right from the off. I can do it differently. I can get on the property ladder, which is fantastic. Working in an estate agency then, do you think that gave you a good grounding of like understanding all the lingo that goes with property?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because back then, I would find people that wanted to buy houses, and then I would speak to people on valuing their houses. I wouldn't go out and value, but I used to do all the comps for the valuer, so I kind of already knew how to analyse a deal in a kind of way.
That's brilliant.
And speaking to the vendors and customers wanted to buy. And at that time, my father wanted me to go into the business, but he wanted to test me out first. Yeah. So he already had a website, he had the bandit boards, he used to do all of that back then, about 11, 12 years ago. And he would send me the leads. So if anybody called, he'd send them to me, and I'd be the one that had to try and negotiate the deal on the phone and things with them.
That's brilliant. Yeah. He gave you like a trial run then.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So how long were you at the estate agents for?
A couple of years. And I did take quite a big pay cut, really. Okay. To go in the world of property full time.
Yeah. It's a big step.
It was a big step.
Did that decision come easy, or was there a lot of and ahhing? Because I know some people, they slowly try and transition. Or was this just a jump?
No, I just jumped into it.
You just jumped all in?
I think I was young. Yeah.
No, you did. Let's
No, yeah, we did. Yeah, I did, yeah.
So with property then, you mentioned obviously buy-to-lets. Yeah. Is that how you started investing yourself? Was it buy-to-lets that you started with?
So the majority of the family business is my parents' portfolio. And then we have limited companies where we're directors and shareholders. And I just have an SA myself. So when we first started out, I first started helping my parents grow their portfolio. and it was buy-to-lets mainly below market value.
Yeah.
And that was back in the day when you could get a really good mortgage easily.
Yeah.
And you could buy below market value, and then they would value it at the price it should be to get your cash back out.
Fantastic.
So that's how we managed to create quite a large portfolio. Yeah. And then started with the HMOs. I
was going to say, so how did HMOs come about then? Because obviously that's quite a big step from your buy-to-lets to then go to HMOs.
Yeah. Well, before the HMOs, and it was when it wasn't regulated, we did rent backs.
Okay.
Yes, we started with that, but we don't have them anymore.
No.
Yeah, that became regulated, but that was a big part of our portfolio as well. It was about 2008, went on a training course in Wolverhampton on HMOs, and came back and bought a house and turned it into HMO. Yeah, so that was my first conversion. I did that one all myself. My father let me loose on it, drew all the plans, got all the builders, the electricians myself. I just called round Howdens and Harlows and have telephone numbers for people.
Was that a really good learning curve then?
Yes, it was.
Because you were so involved in every single aspect then. It was all you, and then I guess you knew how to do it start to finish by the end of it.
Yeah. Did the trip to IKEA. Yeah.
Everyone loves the trip to IKEA. Everyone always goes with a slightly too small car as well, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously you've done that HMO then. How old were you when you done that one, your first HMO?
Oh God, so that was in 2008 and I'm 36 now.
Okay.
So, however you want to work that out. I've been doing it for quite a while now, I lose track of time.
No, but obviously that shows that you enjoy it, and obviously HMOs are really working for you guys. And do you see that as being like a long-term strategy that you guys continue to do, HMOs?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. We've still got a couple that we're doing now.
Yeah. You do. They're very exciting. I don't know if you want to explain a little bit about these projects, anything you want to share, because they are fantastic projects and I think everyone will gain a lot of value from those. Yeah.
So we have quite a large portfolio of HMOs now. If I add them all up, we have around 44 HMO units.
Yeah.
About over 250 tenants currently. I think last year we created about 5 HMOs, and that was a small year for us.
Yeah. That was a small year.
Yeah.
I love that. Small year.
So this year it has been a bit slower, but I think that's because we've just purchased a very large building.
Yeah.
So that has taken a lot of our own personal funds out of our bank. So in about January I bought a house, and that's a 5-bed HMO now, all up and running.
Fantastic.
Just waiting for literally the funds to come back through from the refinancing, probably tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
And I've got some more money back in the account again. Then about in May, we purchased another house in Tamworth, and the builders have started on that now. So that will be a 6-bed HMO.
Fantastic.
And I bought a 12,000 square foot care home.
Just as you do.
As you do. So yeah, a friend actually pointed out to me. Oh, they sent me a link on Facebook. Have you seen this care home?
Yeah.
Because we do already have a care home that's a 40-bed,
Yeah.
40-bed HMO, as you do as well. It was up for 366,000 up for auction.
Okay.
So me and my sister Amy, we did a viewing on it, and I think we'd literally walked into 3 bedrooms, and we looked at each other and went, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
just got that feeling.
Just know. I think you kind of look around a building and you think the brickwork's really good. The roof looks kind of good. It just needs some repairs.
Yeah.
Inside, all the bedrooms are all laid out. So it's an ex-council care home.
Okay.
So you know that it's going to be up to scratch.
Yeah, it's pretty standard
maintained
as well. You know
very
what you're
well.
going to get.
Yeah.
So what was that like then, transitioning from such things like a 5-bed HMO to a 12,000 foot care home?
Okay.
So that is quite a big leap. Is it literally just take the same systems and apply them, or is it quite different?
It's a little bit different, but the first commercial building then we did was about 2015. Before then we'd done 5, 6, 7-bed HMOs. I keep driving past this one office block that hadn't sold for a while, literally next to the train station. And my father put an offer in on it and came back and said, well, it's basically 5 HMOs, isn't it, in one building? We all kind of had a family meeting and said, yeah, let's do this then. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. So,
how was that journey of setting that one up then?
It was stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't lie. I did have a few moments where I felt quite panicky, but yeah, it was good. And it is basically 5 HMOs in one building. You just have to think of the other planning issues, and you have to do a lot more surveys and reports. We had to do a noise report, like a pollution report we'd never even thought we had to do.
Yeah.
So, and put them in place. We had to end up putting acoustic glazing in the windows because it was too close to some traffic lights.
Okay.
And they didn't want the tenants opening the windows then for fresh air, so we had to have these fresh air vents put in.
All these things
you don't think about things like that when you're just doing a normal HMO. So there are a few extra things you need to look in.
Did it help with that mindset of breaking it down into it's just 5 HMO units?
Yes.
Just helps breaking it down into a smaller projects instead of thinking of it as one large project.
Yeah. And that we had that in mind when we went to go see the architect.
Yeah.
So we want you to create mini HMOs in one building. Yeah, that's how it was designed as well, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is this new project very similar to that of how you're breaking it down, or is it just one huge?
No.
No?
No, it's not one huge one. And even the architect designed it, so it's 5 clusters.
Yeah.
And he did design it where the fire escape routes would have to go, you'd use a door to go through to the next HMO to get out.
Okay.
No, I've completely redesigned it because I don't want that.
You want them all separated?
All completely separate with their own entrances. I think for me, it's for management reasons. It's a lot of people living together.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So how was it then scaling up then to do these kind of projects? I know you said about breaking it down for your mindset and pieces, but for someone who perhaps is watching who they're doing a few HMOs, what would some advice be mindset-wise to take on a project that size?
The big project?
Yeah.
You've got to have your power team, as they call it. You definitely have to have your power team. You have to really analyse your deal. If you're doing a commercial building like these mega HMOs we're doing, there'll be about good £30,000-40,000 just on consultants and things and surveys. And we do spend that extra bit of money to have, we have a construction consultant. She comes to work with us and she will look after the consultants and do an action plan and a tracker to make sure everybody's doing their survey or what they need to do at that moment in time, when it's the architect going to do the plans for a certain time, like a project manager.
Yeah.
And she will help with the tender as well, so she'll put a tender pack together for the builders.
Great.
And she'll deal with them, get them all signed up, she'll create the JCT and everything for
amazing.
us. So, yes, I don't think we could do it without her. She's done all 3 of them for us, yeah.
That's amazing. So I guess it really just comes down to people that you can trust and really depend and rely on.
Yes.
To help you get these projects.
Especially with these bigger projects. I think if it came to it and we didn't have enough money to not have her, I think we would have second thought about that. Yeah, definitely.
So what else then is perhaps on the horizon? So obviously you have this huge commercial conversion going on at the moment. Is there anything else? Is it just HMOs still that you're focusing on?
No. We would like to do some flips to create a war chest, we keep calling it.
Yes.
Yeah. Pay the tax man.
Do you think that's to give you a bit of variation in your property business as well? Because I presume that it can get a bit step and repeat if you're doing the same thing over and over again. Yes, it does, yeah. And sometimes with the HMOs as well, I think there's only so many your builder and trusted builders can do at one time. Before there's so much project management going on, and then I will have to have more staff. Yeah.
There's just more costs. So we've all agreed that we'd have a look at some flips. We'd like some more money and some holidays than just keep constantly employing new staff. But we do have a really good team at the minute. Yeah.
Do you focus, so I know a lot at Progressive we call it 70-20-10. Do you have that system as well in your property businesses, or is it just, well, no, this project's right for this, and like you just play it by ear and see how it goes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have a website set up and our house buyers branding.
Yeah.
I advertise all around where we are for that on social media. So if a deal comes in, then if I'm interested in it, we'll take a look. If the figures work for HMO, then if the figures work for SA, then we'll have a look at it. So we have the systems in place to take them on. So.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Did it take you a long time to work all these systems out, or was it trial and error?
We've been doing it for a long time now. So when we first started out, it would be myself and my sister doing the viewings, signing up the tenants, doing the calls out at night, calling the plumber.
Yeah.
We've done all of it. So we have wrote a lot of processes, especially Amy. She's done the most of the processes. And we have risk assessments and policies for everything you can think of. I'm sure we've got our own big
stack like that.
handbook of what to do. Yeah.
You also mentioned a bit about management agents.
So we have our own staff.
Yeah.
It's called a perfect room. So we are self-managing landlords.
Did that come around from you guys originally doing it all yourself and
Yes.
thinking, we know how to do this, we can take this further, outsource it? Do you provide that service for other people as well, or is it just your own properties?
For ourselves, yeah. Just
That's
for ourselves.
fantastic. Like a dedicated management agent.
Yes, it is. Yeah. We may in the future decide to franchise that out or offer our services to other landlords. But at the moment, it's just self-managing landlord. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
It's branded as a letting agency. So yeah.
It just gives you that peace of mind, I guess, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So we have full-time lettings lady, a full-time admin and lettings lady, a buildings and facilities manager. So he will do all the management checks for HMOs. He does all our policies, even our staff handbook and policies and stuff. A full-time finance manager. So she'll do all our things on Xero, all our tax returns and everything. She'll do cash flow forecasts. We're quite an open and honest business, so every single Friday, Thursday or Friday, we all get together and we go through the profits, and everybody in the business knows what the profits are and then what the expenses are, what the arrears are, and we all discuss that between us on how we could improve on that. Yeah.
That's a really nice approach to keep your team in the loop as well, and just so that everyone's on the same page of where the business is going, what's going on. I think that's a really nice approach.
Yeah.
Do you think leveraging was hard when it came to your business? Because obviously I know you guys have been doing it a long time, but obviously starting out, a lot of people then struggle to let go after doing everything themselves.
It can be sometimes training the staff, and you're having to hold back when you can hear them talking to somebody on the phone. And you really want to say, "Oh, you should have said it this way." I don't think we found it that hard to hold back because we know we really want to push and grow the business. So we probably haven't taken as much money as what other property investors you've seen have. Yeah. Because we've always wanted to get to a point where we could be hands-off investors and completely in on the business. We're not there yet, nearly. So every time we wanted to employ a new member of staff to take on some of that role for us, they would take that part of your salary in a way. Yeah. So, for you to really step away from the office. So I'm really in a lucky situation now where my kind of job for the family at the moment is finding houses, viewing houses, buying them, and then finding investors. And then once I've found a house, I'll hand it over to somebody else to do the refurb work and everything and find the tenants. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's the bit that you really enjoy. It's kind of going back to that estate agent part almost. Of like you get to go view the properties all the time and you know what you're looking for and you're playing on your strengths. I think that's a really nice thing that you are still a family unit as well.
Yes.
Which is because sometimes property does bring friends and family together, or it can bring them apart. I think it's really nice that you've all done this together and you're just continuing to push forward.
We've all got our own strengths and weaknesses in the business. So Amy's back in the office. She's really good with the staff, and she's really good with putting systems into place and training and making sure everybody's doing what they're doing. My father, he doesn't really, it's not really there much in the day to day. He kind of asks us what we're doing, what we're getting up to, and he is the big driving force in the business. He's the one that will say, yes, do it. Yeah.
That's good, just like that energy that you need sometimes, just to push you forward.
So I'd found this care home, and me and Amy had viewed it, and we wanted to put the offer forward, and I just thought I'd run it past him. And he went, sounds all right to me, I'd go for it. When are we going to the auction?
I love it, just that reassurance, isn't it?
So I found a bridging lender, spoke to them on the phone, they got really excited and they came with me. So the bridging lender sat with me at the auction while we bid on it. We got our offer accepted. He called back to the office, had the new figure accepted and signed and called for valuation while we were there at the auction.
Just while you were there. That's brilliant. So with all of this then, what would some of your typical figures be then for one of your HMOs? Let's say just your standard, you know, the 5, 6, 7 bedroom HMOs. Just to give people an idea of what you guys have set up and how that looks on a monthly basis. If you wouldn't mind giving some figures.
So the 6 bedroom one we're doing at the moment, that's will be about 34 gross. And then all your management and utilities and things off that. So that will make a good net profit. And it depends really on the size of the building as well, because you can have a 5 bed with double en suites, and then you can have a 5 little bed. So really for us, we wouldn't really want to make less than net 15 on a HMO. And I'd discount it really if it made less than that. Yeah. But like on the care homes, I mean, they're making like 240 gross a year, so...
It's amazing. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people watching would be like, I would like some of that.
The thing with the very large ones, for the amount of HMOs in one unit, their net might be less than another big HMO you'd expect, but we'd put them on a high repayment because it's such. We're looking at like a £2 million mortgage on them. So we make sure we put them on repayments. Yeah, because they can afford a repayment. You see.
So what would some of your final tips then be for someone who's looking at going into HMO? Maybe they hear a lot of people discussing it, but they're not quite sure yet. What would some of your starting tips be to go into a HMO?
Starting tips for HMO? Just do it.
I love it. Just jump straight in. Just do it.
I mean, when I went out back in 2008, we just done some flips and some buy-to-lets, and then just went on a training course. And actually, you go on a lot of training courses, and you see the successful people are the ones that actually just go out and take the action. So basically. So don't worry too much about whether you know all of it straight away, and don't spend too much time setting up the little systems and everything. Just you need to have a go. Yeah, definitely.
And I guess there's a lot of support out there, especially in PP as well, of people who will help you when something does go wrong.
One of the other things that I would always say as well, and this is one of my main areas in the business I look after, is mortgages. So before buying or offering on somewhere, make sure you've got a good broker and you've already got some terms for exit. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, and you've actually put them into your costings and your analysis. Especially with HMOs, you might have arrangement fees and other valuation fees you might not have put into that deal analysis.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to think about as well, because a lot of people, they don't think of an exit strategy. They're just so gung-ho of like, let's get it running, let's do this, but you do need to prepare just in case, because you never know what's around the corner, do you?
Yeah, you need to know if you're leaving any money in, or it's no money down, or cashing out.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's a really good tip. But that's pretty much all we have time for today, guys. So what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put your contact details all in the comments as well. So if anyone's got any questions about larger HMO deals or anything like that, they can contact you. We'll put it all into the YouTube video as well for you. Okay. But it's been fantastic getting to chat to you today and learning more about what you guys do at Farrington Properties. I just think some of the deals that you guys have going through are really exciting, and I know lots of people are going to be excited to see how these projects progress.
Me too. So
I'm looking forward to it. But no, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me here as well.
It's been fantastic. So guys, we will see you on the next one. And make sure any questions that you have, you pop them in the comments for Claire. Bye guys.
Bye everybody.